After watching this lesson, you will officially become a programmer, as you will create a script, write code and run your first Hello World program. First of all, we are not going to write code inside the Unity editor, as it's not suitable for that. Instead, we are going to use an integrated development environment, IDE, called MonoDevelop, which conveniently comes pre-installed with Unity. Hello World program is usually a simple and basic program, which outputs Hello World to user. We are going to make Unity write its output to the console. And of course, for that to happen, you should locate your console first. If you don't see the console on your screen, then go to the window and at the bottom find console. Alternatively, you can press Ctrl-Shift-C or Command-Shift-C on a Mac to show the console. The layout of the console window is pretty simple. However, please pay extra attention to these three toggle buttons at the top right corner. First one is responsible for displaying logs, which we are going to use to see output for our Hello World program. Second is showing or hiding warnings, and the last one is for the errors. I would suggest to keep these buttons enabled at most times, because it's easy to miss an error in your game, which might confuse you, especially while you are just starting to write the code. For any script to work, it should be attached to game object. Open our Pong level scene and create a new empty game object. Now reset its transform to keep things tidy and give it a name, Game Manager. Now let's add script to our Game Manager. Press Add Component button in the inspector and select New Script. Now give script a name, Game Manager. Notice that both words start with a capital letter and there is no space. This way of naming is known as Pascal case, or it also can be called upper camel case, and this is for a good reason. It's much more readable this way. Usually we would separate words with spaces, but in script names you can only use a very limited set of characters, and spaces are not allowed. A good example of camel case usage is iPhone or PayPal, where iPhone is a lower camel case and PayPal is upper camel case or Pascal case. Now when our script is ready, let's double click on it in the inspector or project browser and MonoDevelop program will open automatically. As you can see, our script is not empty and there are quite a few things already written here. However, we are not going to use all code from this template, so let's clean it up a little bit. These two lines with using word can be safely removed, as we are only going to use the basic function of Unity engine. Now here goes our script name. Notice that inside script it is treated as a class, so from now on you can also call it this way. Then there are two public methods, start and update. Start executes as soon as game is run and only once, so it's a perfect place for us to put our Hello World output code. Pay attention to these curly braces. They indicate beginning and end of a method, so place your code between them. To print Hello World text into Unity console, we are going to use print method. To invoke it, type print and two parentheses. In parentheses, we must tell to the print method what we actually want to see displayed. So let's type Hello World. However, you can see this red underline. It means we have an error. Print method expects a string of text. To turn our Hello World into a string, we are required to use double quotes, like so. Now our text changed to orange, which means MonoDevelop recognized it as a string of text. We have just written a statement, but MonoDevelop doesn't know if we have finished writing it. To indicate end of statement, always type semicolon at the end. All these rules are called syntax, and as a programmer you should pay close attention to it. For example, start is written with uppercase S and print with lowercase p. If you change any of this, you will get an error and your program won't run. So capitalization is important, and remember that every statement should end with a semicolon. Save our file by pressing Ctrl-S or Command-S on a Mac, or do so from menu. File, save. Now switch back to Unity and you will notice this spinning wheel icon at the bottom right corner. It indicates that Unity is updating scripts. Now this will be your assignment. Follow a long lesson up until this point, so that you have Game Manager script assigned with a print method ready to print Hello World. And while looking at the console, run the game. After successful console output, go back to our script and move print command to the update method. Run the game again. Remove update method altogether and leave only start. Now inside start, use print method to output each of the following. Remember to put your statements between curly braces of start method. Pay attention to capitalization and make sure you end each statement with a semicolon. And the last task would be to create a new script called ball inside Unity and attach it to our ball game object. Please do so now and I will see you in the part B.